Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Jones. And do you have any idea what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taylor Jones, and I welcome you back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits. And right now, what I'm about to do is give you a long-awaited episode 3 of Cold Man's Winter Season 3. And for those that watched my first two videos from the season, based on dealing with the reflections of 2020, and the first one, I don't recall what it was, but it's on the YouTube channel, so feel free to check them out. And since I've talked about my latest video, when I'm giving out some advice for the New Year's Eve, the link will be in the description bar down below. So for today, even though it's mildly bright outside, because it's snowing. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I'm here to give you a new episode when it comes to talking about topics, real life topics. One thing that comes in mind is fear. And so that's exactly what I'm talking about. For today's episode, I'm going to be talking about fear. Now, for those that wonder what fear does to you, well, it's like this. When you have fear, you're dealing with a lot of anxieties. Like, you're afraid, you're like feeling rushed, like you're in a tug of war, but one side, God is pulling for you to be on his side, while the devil's pulling you on the other. But it's been happening for years, and the fact that everybody starts to get mad over nothing, like me, for example. But I want to let you know how this all can start. I mean, there's a lot of examples, but when you deal with fear, I mean, how do you turn out? You turn out your worst behavior. You become your own enemy instead of Satan. You become something that you're not, doing things that you're not supposed to, and you just feel like you're outnumbered. You outnumbered yourself more than you can hardly count. And that's exactly when you let stress and depression kick in. Like, you want to isolate, like, leave me alone, all this and that. But come on now. You got to know when to overcome your fear. But how you going to overcome your fears if you don't know how you got in the first place? And that's when you have people be rushing you, like they talking down on you, like, yo man, you need to chill with that noise, you need to kill that noise, man, you a grown man, you got to get up off your tail and do something. Why can't you get some nookie? No. First off, don't you talk about women like that. It's not about the sex. Well, yes it is. Oh, for real, you think I'm scared to have sex? Yes you is. I mean, look at you. You ain't even trying to get a woman. You so scared, man. You need to get up off your tail. Well, you ain't a pimp neither. And if you thinking about having sex, you better use a condom. Why in the world would you tell me to use a condom? I know how to handle myself. Oh, no, you don't. See, this is the thing. And you saying I'm scared. You know, it goes back and forth, but you know, that's an example. But a true example is like when you have somebody in your lifetime that you know that's been dealing with pain, fears, tears, and all that. Like, I give you a prime example. All right, if we had to go back, let's go back to the year of 1994. And it's like a story I'm going to tell you. Another story to tell to base the fact about dealing with fear. 1994. Spring has passed. Summer has passed. So this is the fall semester of 1994. High school. Where? Milan High School. There was a young African American girl by the name of Olympia Stewart who just felt so happy to start off in her debut. No. Not 94. Let me rephrase that to 1995. 95 was the year. Fall 1995, Olympia Stewart was minding her business, just happy to start off high school. Fresh teenage years. 14 years old, just glad to be in Milan High for the first time. Freshman year, hoping that her 4 years in high school would go smoothly. But every now and then, she starts to feel a little down, a little discomfort, ever since her older sister Missy, who was a teenage mother at the time, had to take life to a whole new level, especially after graduating high school. And she decided to take small steps, try to get through all the classworks, all the events that's been taking place, just trying to experience what life was like to be in high school. So Olympia, she has been taking care of business on a daily basis, but let's just say that one day things started going completely downhill for her. Like, she has nobody to turn to, nobody to trust, because she felt like she's been outnumbered. I mean, to the darkest age of her life. And there were some people that bullied her over and over again. Hey, look, it's the fat girl. Hey, yo, give her a Twinkie, man. Give her a Twinkie, Negro. I was like, oh yeah, I got you, yeah. So, but all of a sudden, there was one guy by the name of Jamal. He spotted Olympia hurting. I mean, everybody started to get on her as if she started to feel less comfortable because she was outnumbered. She was called fat, and she decided, like, I can't take this anymore. I'm starting to hate Milan High now. But then all of a sudden, before she went to the bathroom, say, hey, excuse me, Miss Olympia, is that your name? What do you want? You want to make fun of me? No, look. I'm opposite than those morons over there. My name is Jamal. I see you're having a hard time with dealing with high school. You can tell. I mean, Jamal tried to comfort her with all the positive feedbacks, trying to keep her to stay in Milan High, even though he was a sophomore at the time, class of 98. But he and Olympia got along, and he even made sure that every tear she cried, he would give a clean piece of toilet paper, a paper towel to wipe, or Kleenex to wipe her face, and to keep her going. And they got along. And Olympia and Jamal, they talk about their lifetime, what they want to accomplish after high school, especially college, and ask about marriage and how they gonna feel about it when it's their perfect time, even though they weren't dating, they were friends, and they remain friends until this day. So Olympia decided to just keep Jamal on her mind, because she felt like that's the only person that she feels comfortable with. Even when she talked about her experience as a freshman in high school, things were going smoothly because of Jamal. He trying to keep her on the right track, trying to keep her from being too depressed, dealing with fear and all that. But then, so we skip ahead to 1996-97 school year. Olympia, now at the age of 15, sophomore year. A lot of people, they still fat shaming her, and even the thug type dudes that made a bet like, hey yo, give Olympia that Twinkie, yeah, let's see she like it, yeah, and taking pictures of her eating, knowing that one day when she was eating, they really did take pictures until Jamal had the nerve to say, cover up the phone. Hey, yo, man, what the heck is wrong with you? What the heck is wrong with me? What the heck wrong with you? You need to leave Olympia alone. That's what you need to do. How dare you? You think I'd like to take pictures of you drinking 40 ounces, smoking weed outside the school? Heck no, I will not let you go get away with this. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah? Well, you might as well fight me after school then, blood. Man. And let's just say that at 3 o'clock, while Jamal and Olympia were heading to the school bus, well, one of the thugs that made fun of Olympia, let's say, hey yo, Jamal, you remember 3 o'clock? And all of a sudden his homeboys started to kick in doing this, you know, cracking their knuckles like they ready to fight. And then all of a sudden, look man, you can say what you want, but I'm not fighting you. Oh, dude, you chickening now, huh? What you scared of, fool? You know, they started to humiliate Jamal and say, hey yo, Jamal loves the fat girl. Jamal loves the fat girl. Oh yeah? If I'm in love with the fat girl, then why don't you do something about it? Oh, you know what? Screw it. You know, we can fight right here, right now, me and you. So they fought. The bullies started to get on the victorious mark. Like a lot of punches were blown, and yes, at the same time, it's kind of like they were cheating. Why would they cheat? Because they had food fight, like they got a piece of pie, like yeah, just making fun of him, making a fool out of Jamal. But everybody started running out. Yo, what's going on here, man? Yo, man, stop it, man. Why you gotta kill Jamal like that? And the other guys, the thugs that backed up the bully, you like, hey, yo, back the heck up. Matter of fact, one of the guys that backed up the bullies had a Smith & Wesson in his pants. Pulled it out. Yo, back the heck up. And everybody, oh no! And everybody was running because they saw a gun. Oh crap, he got a gun! Run! And Olympia, on the other hand, she spotted the whole thing, started breaking down and crying. But all of a sudden, when things got out of hand, Jamal got back up on his knees. Back up on his feet. While the thugs like, yeah, we scored the double cross. I'm not done yet. Come on. So instead of being humiliated, the thug came back, ran to him, tried to swing at him while running to him. Jamal ducked, and he just beat me, hit him in his back. Ah! And then, you know, this got streetwise with, like, he knows how to fight, and yet he had to punch him in the jaw, do the uppercut, and just punch him like a beanbag in his gut, and then boom, he knocked him out. Knocked out the thug with an elbow to the face. And all of a sudden, the guy that backed up the bully, he decided to kill him. And scream, and Olympia screamed, no! No! And then, boom, goes a gunshot. Now you thought Olympia took the bullet? No. Did Jamal took the bullet? Yes. But he fell to the ground. Olympia's still crying, tears falling out her eyes. You morons! What was it to you, fat girl? He's dead. And the other thug, he'd be like, no, he ain't dead yet. Olympia looked inside Jamal's shirt with a hole in it. Oh my goodness. He got a bulletproof. What? Bulletproof? So the thug tried to shoot at him again, but this time he aimed for the head. And he asked the other thug to hold Olympia hostage. But instead, what Olympia did, she started to see that if you continue to have fear, you're going to be a coward for life, or you'll end up dead. So she decided to step on the dude's foot and do the elbow to the face. And the thug was bleeding from his nose. And the thug that was about to shoot Jamal in the head, he didn't even have a bullet coming out because he was all out of bullets. What the? Oh man, I'm out of bullets. And then when the police pulled up on the scene, well, if it isn't the bullies. So they got the bullies. They handcuffed the bullies, and one was charged with a attempted murder at the school. Oh, you were watching?
No, you made it crank your when we're cranking with this.
Oh,
Let it run a while.
I got you. Yeah. All right. So as the police were arresting the 3 teenagers that started a fight after school, and one was charged with attempted murder, even though Jamal had a bulletproof vest, the principal was not pleased, and he expelled the 3 teenagers who insulted Jamal, calling him a chicken, and decided, you know what, I can't be scared forever. And everybody, on the very next day, they gave Olympia and Jamal a standing ovation because they were in the fight together. She watched the whole thing, but she still took Jamal's strength and courage and bravery seriously, that she wanted to be just like Jamal. But in 1997-98, things started to change. Junior year for Olympia, it started to go completely downhill. I mean, people were still fat shaming her, and some other students, they were racist, and like, man, it's like poor Olympia can't get a break. To the fact that Jamal, like, it's going to take more than Jamal to keep Olympia strong. So all of a sudden, one day when she came home from school after being humiliated on a daily basis, she actually went to her room, sat on her bed, side of the bed, crying, and then all of a sudden, a knock on the door. What? Who is it? It's me, Olympia. It's Mom. Referring to my Aunt Beverly. Aunt Beverly. Shout out to her, by the way. She actually walked in and asked Olympia, "What's the problem? You have been like this for a couple years. What's been going on?" It's everybody at high school. I'm starting to think that they taking this bullying thing towards me to a whole new level. Like, and now they're some people call me fat girl, and others they racist. Like, I can't take it anymore. No, no, honey, listen. I know you. You have a powerful future ahead of you. All you have to do is avoid it. But it's not that easy. Well, who said it wasn't? As long as you have been in my roof, under my roof, Olympia, I know for a fact that God is not going to avoid you. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. And you got to understand how much this means to you. One of these days, you're going to have to stop letting fear get the best of you. You got to get the fear out of your heart. Because the only thing that you need to fear is God. He's the one that made you. He wants you to stay on the right path as long as you are part of His family. I am so proud of you for getting out of the so-called bad guys, the bullies' clutches last school year. But now you have to move on. You have to stand up. I mean, of course, I feel like I put responsibility on myself, but I am not going to let anybody else hurt you or insult you. Just like Jamal. He's the only one that cared for you, but he's not the only one. I care for you because I love you. I'm your mother. All I'm saying, Olympia, is that one day you will make a difference. Even if it means to lose weight. Even if it means to fight back with words. So after Aunt Beverly gave Olympia some powerful words, like a godly advice from a mother to a daughter, she started to take Aunt Beverly's words seriously. And afterwards, and remember, this is 97, 98. Junior year, she started to do a whole lot more. Instead of being fat shamed once again, she had to shut all the haters up. Even the racist folks, the racist students, she had to shut them up. But how? She lifted her voice and sang, even though she was afraid to be out in a crowd of hundreds and thousands of students and faculty members. But on Black History Month, man, she blew, singing her first solo at Mile and High. You're like, whoa! But before she even did that, she was afraid, but she saw Jamal at the corner in the gym, giving her a thumbs up, letting her know, you got this, as a way of saying, overcome your fears. And hearing Beverly's voice in her head, based on the talk that they had. So she overcame her fears, and everybody's starting to feel so ashamed. Some people had to cry based on how far she have been taking her bravery. She's ridding her fear. Jamal was proud of her, but it was not over yet. The madness was not over yet. Even Missy was surprised to hear about the incidents that went down ever since she left Milan High School. And she always relied on her little sister to grow, to have an understanding as much as Aunt Beverly did. But for Jamal, Missy told Olympia, look, one day Jamal is definitely gonna treat you like a queen. I mean, prom is coming up. Why don't you go with him? I don't know. But well, you can't be scared of Jamal forever. Even though he's leaving, I mean, I stayed in touch with him. He even did so much for you and helped you be more brave. I mean, give him a chance. And when Missy gave Olympia some good advice, especially for prom season, Olympia went with Jamal. They had the time of their lives. Even everybody that fat shamed her, they were there and like, oh my goodness, look at Olympia. Yo, man, ever since she started singing, oh man, she was, oh wow. Everybody was aware of how beautiful she looked. Back then, she didn't rock earrings as much. Olympia didn't. I mean, all she cared about is staying educated, trying to live a better life. But that's not over. Because 1 month after prom was over, Olympia was full of tears, all because her best friend Jamal was leaving Mile High forever. He graduated, class of 98. She was so hurt that she even said, look, Jamal, I don't want to leave you. I mean, like this. Look, I'm sorry, Olympia, but I can't be in Mile High forever. All you have to do is overcome your fears, like I've always told you. You were my number one friend, the only friend that I can trust. I mean, so much you can do. You cannot cry over this. You have a powerful voice. You're going to be heard. You're going to make yourself famous for Mile High. All I can tell you is that with Christian love, you can make everything happen. All you have to do is remember to let not your heart be troubled. And that was from the Gospel according to John. A powerful verse to remember. Let not your heart be troubled. And that was his farewell advice for Olympia before he decided to head straight to TSU, Tennessee State University. And when it came to senior year, 98-99, Olympia was all alone. Jamal is gone. And her family, Missy and Aunt Beverly, they are so proud of her for overcoming her fear. Even though they still see a little discomfort in her, she made it happen. The principal at the time asked her to sing the national anthem. She agreed to do it. She performed in Black History, led a solo like she did, and she did it. Everybody's starting to love her for who she's trying to become. And with all the God in her, she's starting to become more faithful to God. Thanks to her mother. Thanks to Jamal giving her some Christian advice. To the fact that on graduation day, well, before that, prom, she was like, I don't know if I could say this. It may not be true, but I don't care. This is my example. This is how I see my cousin Olympia. She became one of the maids of the prom, which is like close to being prom queen. But in graduation night, she, along with some of her classmates, they led the Mile High School alma mater. Our strong band shall ne'er be broken, it shall never die. Far surpassing wealth unspoken, sealed by friendship's tide. Live the chorus ever onward, purple and the white. Hail to the alma mater, Mile High, all hail. She sung that. She never even took off her graduation cap. She kept wearing her cap with a smile on her face, and everybody was so glad that she made it big. Even Missy had to cry tears of joy. Aunt Beverly gave her a hug of a lifetime. 15 seconds. Saying, oh, thank God for you. I mean, no. Let me rephrase that. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for what you have done for my daughter. Thank you very much. I mean, she was so happy to make a difference. But then, after high school was over, she moved on. Still had a lot of fears in her life. But at the same time, based on the advice that Beverly told Olympia, Missy given to Olympia, and Jamal giving to Olympia, she's starting to get more comfortable. Comfortable to be out, standing out in front of a crowd, lifting her voice and sing, being faithful to God, and starting to lose weight. And year after year after year, she started feeling 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 pounds lighter than when she started out in Milan High School. She even reunited with Jamal back in 2009. While she was getting ready for a 10-year reunion, Olympia Stewart, is that Jamal? Jamal! And they walked to each other, hugged each other, reunited. They even took a picture. And since they started to be on this Facebook thing, they started to keep in contact with each other. Not only on social media, but they phone calls too. Heck, Jamal even told Olympia about his family, his life. Because now he lives ever since he left, he went to TSU, but now he lives in Medina now, which is cool, close to home. I mean, he has told Olympia about him being baptized to the Church of Christ, and he attends service. He actually became a minister in the Church of Christ. Meanwhile, he has a daughter who is in the top 10 of her of the high school class, which is supposed to be like this year, but that's fiction. But Olympia, she was so glad to reunite with all the people that booed, hissed, and called her fat, that even the bullies turned prisoners, they actually asked for forgiveness because they were released. They were released from prison, and they decided to get their acts together. Heck, they even went to the same church that Jamal went to. Don't you know how crazy that sounds? To have people hating on Olympia to have a sudden change of heart for her. Now that's what fear does. If you overcome your fear, you realize how much power God can have to make you more strong, more courageous, and to learn your lessons. Because everybody needs a forgiving heart. Everybody needs a second chance. But for the people that's been dealing with weaknesses and fear, like fear of bats, fear of spiders, fear of being murdered, fear of death, it happens once in a life. But you got to overcome that. And fear of rejection too. And I got to work on that myself. So I'm just giving you a story. A perfect example what I can think of was Olympia Pringle. Bullied on a daily basis to being somewhat of a legend, an icon from Milan. But now she has her own journey to fulfill, her own quest that she started singing soulfully in the gospel tunes. And I'm proud of her. I'm proud that Olympia overcame her fears. I'm proud that I had a chance to see her in real life, because that's a perfect example of how one person overcomes fear. And the more you overcome fear, you got to realize that when that happens, you're going to have to keep this up. And in the words of the old 60s gospel group, the Gospelaires of Dayton, Ohio, there will be rest for the weary. You know, real life issues, but you can turn them to a a real life lesson, but ended in a positive note. So in the end, we all know that Olympia started to make moves. After overcoming her fears from the 90s, she's in her 40s trying to continue where she left off from high school to now. Even though the story is fictional, I made it sound real because I know Olympia in real life. Heck, I even mentioned her as a sweet lady of the week from season 1. Season 2, it was Missy. But the story ends here. From based on the story you watched and listened to, you got to realize that nothing in this world can slow you down but fear. But the only way you stop fear is you get over the humps. Whether your friends tell you, your family tell you, or whether God tells you. Because God is the only one that can control the fear. Put it in its cage where it belongs. But you still got to fear God because He is the creator. He's the powerful one, the mighty one. And it took me a long time to realize that I need to overcome my fears with other people. Based on what mom and dad say, what friends and family say. Look, if you got a goal, you have to stick to it. Stop letting fear get the best of you. I mean, you're going to let fear cower you all throughout your life, and you're going to end up as a loser. And that is not what I'm planning to be. But until then, overcome your fears. Let not your heart be troubled. Be not afraid to stand out, even if it means your life. I mean, everybody sacrificed for a long time, but I'll be darned to lose my life over standing out. And with all that being said, if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channels, and there'll be more in stores. And the link will be in the description bar down below for my last Cold Man's Winter episode, back when I was giving advice to wishing all y'all a happy new year. 2022 just begun, but the madness is far from over. So, and also, what is the point of me ending this YouTube video without mentioning Sweet Lady of the Week? And since I mentioned her multiple times in this story, I would have to say it once again because that name is powerful to remember, easy to remember. So the sweet lady that I'm referring to is, okay, remember this. Cold Man's Winter Season 1, Olympia Pringle. Cold Man's Winter Season 2, Missy Stewart. Cold Man's Winter Season 3, this episode, it belongs to Olympia and Missy's mother, Miss Beverly Stewart. To Aunt Beverly, if you're watching this, just know that I never forgot about you. Why? Because family always matter. Hence the name of the 90s comedy sitcom, Family Matters, with Steve Urkel. Did I do that? But just know, family always matters, no matter what happens. So Aunt Beverly, this one is dedicated to you, as much as Missy and Olympia too. And with all that being said, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out. See you on the flip side, aka the next episode.